Well, back at the airport today, and more news about some new flights that are coming from EasyJet. Ali's with us, who's flown in for this announcement. What is it?
We're going to be starting from April 19th next year, 4 times a weekly service to Bristol from here in the Isle of Man.
Now, is that one you've been looking at for some time? Because I know EasyJet almost all the time is scouring to find out new routes to do.
Oh yes, I have my work cut out for me. We've been looking at this probably for at least a year, evaluating it. I mean, we're now already starting to look at what routes next for the end of 2015 and into 2016. It's a long process.
So you've had good news here in the Isle of Man with your initial Gatwick.
Well, that's right. Well, in fact, we started nearly 5 years ago. It'll be 5 years in May with Liverpool.
Right.
And of course, Liverpool started with a summer-only, part-weekly service. It's now year-round, operates at least daily, going up to multiple times daily in peak summer and around TT and things like that. Then, of course, Gatwick, now twice daily, and Bristol.
Of course, you have a little bit of problems. You got planes going other places, obviously, and you weren't able to give us a full service over the last few months. Only one flight day, wasn't it? So 2. Are you going to be able to deal with that in future? Give us a better service?
No. Well, what we do in the depth of winter when demand isn't as high is we might the term we use is thinner route, just match capacity to demand. So it's just strategic days of the week, perhaps sort of Tuesdays and Wednesdays when people aren't travelling, whilst maintaining capacity at peak times. But then once, as I say, TT, peak summer, Easter, that sort of thing, school holidays, we will always ramp up the capacity again.
So how good are your loadings?
Well, for Gatwick and Liverpool, very strong. Bristol's just gone on sale this morning, but I believe we've got bookings coming in already.
Now, other people have tried to do Bristol in the past, and it's never seemed to have stayed for that long. What difference are you going to make to it?
Number of reasons. Firstly, for us, we're starting it 4 times a week, so we have a great product. The flight will operate Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays. So super for people in either direction who are going for weekend breaks, but also for business travel. Also, the very fact, the way EasyJet works is we stimulate demand, because gone are the days where people would maybe have, a long weekend in February and think, I want to go to Paris, how can I get there? Now they think, I've got a few days off in February, I'm going to go on the EasyJet website and see where I can fly to. If you look at passengers coming into the Isle of Man, we will now have 12 aircraft in our Bristol base. We serve 53 destinations from there. So that, we're massive in the Bristol market. We're over 50% of air capacity out of the southwest of England. So the Bristol passengers are well used to us and looking for new places to travel to. But for here in the Isle of Man, people can go down to Bath, to Bristol, Devon and Cornwall, into Gloucestershire, South Wales.
It's always slightly controversial because, with you on the Gatwick, for instance, there was Flybe, and you saw them out of it almost, really, didn't you?
Well, that's slightly different. Flybe sold their slots at Gatwick. They exited Gatwick, and we were fortunate enough to be in a position to buy the slots, but saw that there was a desperate need to maintain that service, and so we were delighted to be able to increase what we were doing to backfill that.
So as you said at the beginning, your job is to look for where the next options are. Do you think there is more potential in the Isle of Man and routes?
Definitely. Our strategy is, the expression we use is to join the dots on our network. And based on the success we've seen of Liverpool, Gatwick, and what we believe will be demand on Bristol, then very definitely we'll be looking at new opportunities based on what customers say they want us to fly.